And we are live. No, it's a bit echoey. Hold on. A few people jumping on. Wait there. My cushions. Wait there. The bloody name. Oh, dear. Here's what we do. We're old school. Oh, so we have cleaning ladies coming in on Friday. Hold on. I look like a Simpsons character. There we go. Look at that. I need a new camera. Anyway, how we doing, everybody? Happy Friday, as they all say. On Fridays, we have a cleaning crew coming in. They clean the house up. So on the floor that you can't see here, I have a bunch of cushions and soft furnishings that they soak up the echo. It's good for the sound. But they clean them all up. But anyway, Friday, what is going on? What's big in your world? Thank you all for tuning in. I'm out of breath. Just finished a workout before. Did you know? I am very excited, by the way, the face of British MMA. If you say so, buddy. I'm watching while working. What's up? Who's that? Oscar Gonzalez. I am good, my friend. I am good. Cheers, Mike. Give you a shout out. Mackenzie Camrock, Mikey B in the house. Went the wrong way. Yes, Bisping. So funny how people calling you bias after the fight. But before, they were calling me an Izzy hater. Who cares, mate? We're not here to talk about that or explain myself. What's up, Bisping? Bisping, you're the effing man. Well, thank you. If they offered you a title fight at light heavyweight, would I take it? I mean, if I could get cleared by commission, of course, title fights are huge. But right now, one of the things I'm mainly looking forward to is my trip to London. Obviously, UFC March happening March 19th. Can't wait for it. But what's that? How I was commentating the other night. It was fantastic, even though I got a lot of hate. Look at the camera. I need to buy a new camera. Look at that. It goes white, then it's yellow. Anyway, the roof of the O2 Arena has blown off. That's what I'm getting at. We haven't had a UFC event in London or England or the UK since 2019, and the people are starving for an event. And I'm assuming it's still going to go ahead. But if you look up online, we've had some huge storms in England, and the fucking roof has blown off the venue. They've took the roof off. It's gone. The roof has blown off. Not all of it, just a part of it, but it's a big old arena. So fingers crossed in the next 3 weeks they can get that fixed. So fingers crossed in a big way. I mean, could you imagine that? What a nightmare. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. I am not on here saying UFC London's cancelled. Don't say that. But what a fucking nightmare it would be for all the fighters training, and then something silly like the roof gets blown off and the fights can't go ahead. Mike, what we're saying, UFC London, shitting it like I am. Exactly, Connor Norman. That's it. I am shitting it. I'm very much, excuse me. I just downed the protein shake. It's repeating on me a little bit. What was I saying? Yeah, I am shitting it. Yeah, I'm flying out to England. I've got the movie premiere of my documentary. La-di-da. I know, very fancy. I apologize for being a wanker. And then I'll be in England for a few days before the fight. I'll be doing a lot of research, of course. And then Saturday we have the fights. And then my wife and I, we stick around for a few days in London, just enjoying ourselves. So I'm very, very much excited for this trip. And then I fly directly to Columbus, Ohio, because there's a main event on there. Sorry, another fight on there. Whoa, somebody here throwing in 50 quid. Jesus Christ. MMA Focus, your documentary, Michael Bisping, My Destiny, brought tears to my eyes. You're a legend, mate. Much respect. Well, thank you very much for those kind words. And if you haven't seen that, it's a documentary that the UFC did a few years ago when I first won the belt. And it is great. I really, really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the UFC did a fantastic job. Now there's a new one coming out called Bisping. A lot of star power in it, as I said a few times on here, I think. So apologies. We've got Vin Diesel in there, name drop. We've got Mickey Rourke. We've got Michael Jai White, Scott Adkins. Who else? Dana White. Joe Rogan. Daniel Cormier. The list goes on and on and on. So we got a lot of great people in it. And it came out fantastic. And if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But keep an eye out for that one soon. It goes on general release next month, and I cannot wait for you all to see it. I'm very proud of it. And it's not just me asking, pretending like I'm hard and all the rest of it. It talks about my real story prior to getting into into mixed martial arts, going to prison, hitting rock bottom basically, and then thinking, wow, my life's going nowhere. I got to figure this out. Anyway, Mr. Magoo says, hey, Mike, can you ask Darren Till to contact Rose Art on Instagram? She has a painting for him. Respect. Right about now, you know. Darren Till, I'll have a word. But Darren Till right now is out in Sweden. He's out in Sweden training with Hamzat Chimaev, Alexander Gustafson, and all the other great talent that they have at the All Stars Training Academy in Stockholm, Sweden. And I bet he's freezing his balls off because England's not exactly a warm country, let's be honest. But Sweden, Scandinavia, in the middle of February, I mean, that just shows. Somebody mentioned before about, I just saw Julian Lane, Bare Knuckle FC going down tonight against Mike Perry. I don't want to sit here and talk shit about Mike Perry. I think Mike Perry's a fascinating character. He's a little bit troubled in some ways, I guess, but aren't we all? We all have issues. He's fighting Julian Lane. And why am I seeing this being covered? Why am I seeing MMA Junkie cover this? Utter shit. Not Mike Perry. Julian Lane, the famous Let Me Bang Bro. Did you ever see that? I just want to bang, bro. I just want to bang. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. But I thought it was pretty funny how yesterday at the press conference, and again, it's only because MMA Junkie reports on this shit. I wasn't looking it up. But at the press conference, Mike Perry pulls out a rubber baseball bat, you know, as if he was going to attack him with it. And then out of the baseball bat, he pulls out a dildo. And waves it in his face. So anyway, Mike Perry's a bit of a character. Julian Lane, oh, he's a stain. Anyway, it's Rory who did a painting for you at the Tales from the Octagon, Birmingham. Respect. What's up, Mr. Magoo? Shout out, Rory. Hope you're well, buddy. Shout out to Brendan Shaw for putting his comedy special on YouTube because no network wanted it. Homeless Cats, PF Chang's. Mike, please tell us, have you ever watched anything from Mixed Molly Whoppery A+ content? I have not, but we have a poll here going on. My man Ant Evans in the background. Do you have any interest in bare knuckle boxing? 41% say yes, nah, 30%. I'm not proud, but sometimes yes. See, that's the thing. Listen, we have some proper fights going on tomorrow night. What do we have? Johnny Walker, Jamal Hill. It's a great fight at the UFC Apex. It's going to be a good one. I'll be sitting down on my couch with a beer in my hand, even though I don't drink anymore. And yeah, I'll be enjoying that one. I have my in-laws arriving for the first time in 3 years because of COVID. They live in Malaysia. So they finally got out of the country. They're coming to see us. So that's nice. We never have any fucking visitors here. You know what I mean? We left England. One thing we miss so much in England is people just popping around. Do you know what I mean? Like in England, small town England, where I'm from, you know, the door, there's a knock on the door and then your mates come in. Hey, you know, aunties, uncles, cousins, friends, the guy next door, whatever it is. You know, you stick the kettle on, you have a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? I miss that. We do miss that big time. And that never happens. No one pops around for a cup of tea anymore. So we've got the in-laws coming. How long do we get sick of them though? That's the real questions. Right, so what do Americans think? This comes from SB. What do Americans... Oh, my God, I can't see shit. Might go put my glasses on. What do Americans think of British MMA scene at the moment? Lots of talent, all on the cusp of some good things with Allen, Aspinall, Edwards. Yeah, I mean, British MMA right now is at a very, very strong point. Maybe the strongest it's ever been, as you said, rightly so. Tom Aspinall, definite future contender at heavyweight. Arnold Allen, 7 fights in a row. Doing fantastic things. Leon Edwards, he's fighting Kamaru Usman for the belt next. Darren Till, still a very, very big name. Who else have we got? There's a lot of good names. I just keep forgetting them all. Been hitting the head a lot. What are you doing for your birthday? I was born on the same day, February 28th. That's why I was in the gym this morning. I've been hitting the bag a lot. I just cleaned out the garage, as you know. Or if you watch Believe You Me, you may know. I got a huge dumpster, skip. Filled it all out. And now I've got my garage back. It was so bad. My garage was fucked. So now I've been hitting the bag. I'm working on my flexibility, my range of motion. And I'm very proud. I'm enjoying myself. Mike, do you play a musical instrument? If not, what would you want to play? I would love to be able to play the piano. I always tried that when I was a kid. Now I don't know electric guitar, but I'm just not, my finger dexterity isn't what it needs to be. But I reckon I could play the piano if I put some effort into it. But I'm too busy for stuff like that. Do you think your son is going to fight in the UFC one day? Do you want to see him fight in the UFC? I don't know. I don't know. He put a picture. I put it on my Instagram today at Mike Bisping on Instagram, and he is in tremendous shape. He let himself go a little bit because he had surgery and he got COVID. But my God, he has had a quick turnaround. He had a posing picture on Instagram today, and he is ripped. He's absolutely massive. He's in great shape. Got a couple of big tournaments coming up as well. So I don't know. Maybe he'll fight in the UFC. Who knows? Michael, what are your thoughts on the new bantamweight prospect, Haywood Jablomi? Thoughts on the new bantamweight prospect, Haywood Jablomi? Well, I hear that Haywood Jablomi is... I'm trying to think of something funny to say. I've got nothing funny to say to that. I think he's great. Hey, would you blow me? Mike, was great to see you commentate pay-per-view last week. You had such a charismatic approach to things. Will we be seeing more of you on pay-per-views? Love you. Well, considering all the backlash from all the motherfuckers out there, probably not. They're probably like, whoa, we give him a try. He was fucking awful. He was biased. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because I was only filling in for Joe Rogan, so probably not. Joe will more than likely be back on the next one. So therefore, I will not. I don't want to take anyone's job. And you know what? I like enjoying the pay-per-views as a fan. Now, don't get me wrong. The best seat in the house is literally right there and working the shows. But if I step in, that means someone else is stepping out. So I'm not angling for someone else's job. I would never do that. People do that, though. People do that. Lots of people ask to commentate the UFC. It's like, that's our jobs. Go fuck yourselves. You know what I mean? Just wait your turn, buddy boy. Have a little bit of dignity. Stop begging to commentate. And when by doing so, you were trying to steal someone else's job. Right now, that team is John Anik, DC, and Joe Rogan, and they do an absolutely tremendous job. If nobody can make it and they need somebody to fill in, I would be absolutely over the moon to do so. But I don't want to take anyone's job. You had an amazing record post-eye injury. How did you accommodate for the reduced depth perception? New subscriber only. Oh, by the way. Well, thank you. What's your name? Daddy Maddy. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. It took a while to adjust to it. Obviously, I'm still adjusting my bloody eyeball right now. But there was definitely an adjustment phase where I had to learn, because a lot of the time, and I'm sorry if I've said this before, people, but he asked the question. Like now, because I have no depth perception, I go to grab like the microphone, but I'll miss, but I'll get it on the second time. If I go to touch things, I miss on the first couple of times. But your brain's an amazing thing. So once I touch that microphone, then I know exactly how far I have to judge. You know what I mean? So when I was sparring, a lot of the time I'd start and I'd be too short. I'd be hitting fresh air or be overcompensating or whatever. But then once I actually touched the person and I made contact with their face, with their head, boom, we were off to the races. So thank you very much for the question. When Anderson hit you with the knee, Anderson Silva, how hurt were you and how did you recover in round 4? Well, do you know what? It is the anniversary of my fight with Anderson Silva very soon, in a couple of weeks. So I will do a video talking all about that, my preparation for it, my mental approach, my physical approach in the fight, round by round, what happened. And of course, in that round 3, you're right, dropped me with that knee. And this pisses me off. I mean, it doesn't piss me off that much, but every time I ever put up a picture of me and Anderson or whatever, so, oh, you lost that fight. There's no way in the world I lost that fight. I clearly won round 1, clearly won round 2. He beat me in round 3 because he dropped me. Round 4, I boxed his head off, and round 5, he got it. That's 3-2. Deal with it, Silver fanboys. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'm going to do a video next week on my Anderson Silva fight. So yeah, thank you very, very much. All right, let's go down here in the chat, see what else we got, guys. Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker tomorrow. And put a poll up on that, please, my friend. Who do we think wins? Jamal Hill, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, as we know, is a very, very explosive striker, very unpredictable. Burst on the scene, knocking every motherfucker out and then hurting himself while doing backflips and whatnot. Jamal Hill, big, tall guy as well. 2 good strikers. Should be an interesting fight. I don't think we're going to see too much of a ground game in that one. It should be a stand-up affair throughout it. So as I say, I'll be sitting down and watching it. Oh, Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Amir Khan, great fighter, great boxer, hell of a career he had. And Kell Brook, of course, as well. So, yeah, I can't break it down, too much. I put all my effort into mixed martial arts. I do so much commentary and shows like this and YouTube and pre-fight shows and post-fight shows and BT Sport and ESPN. I don't really have time to study the finer things of the sweet science, but I do enjoy boxing. Of course I do, and I will try and tune in for this one. John Hilton says, hey, Mike, I'm the British amputee veteran born 28th of February, 1979, who messaged you and you replied, oh, yes. I remember you, John Hilton. Can you DM me for the book? Absolutely. This man that I'm talking about here, he was paralyzed from the chest down, if I remember rightly from the tweet. And by all accounts now, John, you're up and about, you're walking and things. Just absolutely incredible. What a journey. What a journey. I'll DM you, mate. Don't worry about that. Just a very busy day today. Working on an audition for a show, for a movie. I did an audition a couple of weeks ago, but I'm so busy. I didn't have any time to learn the lines and stuff. So I did the audition, but I was holding the papers in my hand and I was just reading it off the thing, but still trying to deliver it well. So they came back. I must still be in with a chance. They said, listen, tell him to learn the lines and do a proper audition. And I've got a good chance. So that's what I've been doing this morning, as well as working out and just taking over the world in general. All right, John Smith. Oh my God, I can't see. That's the wrong way. There we go. I love your channel and your commentary. If you can change one thing about the UFC, what would it be? Well, I've spoke about this a lot. I think it would be the weight cutting culture that we have. The weight cutting culture that we have, so many people miss weight now. So many people miss weight. And I'm just going to say, if you are a professional fighter, I'm not going to go into it because I've done it recently, but get a grip. If you're missing weight and you're doing it regularly, get a grip. Stop calling yourself a professional. You're a wannabe. You're not a professional. If you're missing weight regularly, you're not a professional. You're an absolute wannabe. And the problem is that this sport these days is full of wannabes. It's full of wannabes. All right, here's the poll. Who wins? Hill, 44%. Johnny Walker, 41%. Too close to call, 15%. I'd say it is too close to call. It's one of those fights. If I gave you a pick, I would not be convincing. Let's go down the chat here a little bit. What have we got? Chito Vera is the man. Chito Vera is the man. What a great guy he is. Give a shout out to Witwatersrand Rifles, RSA Infantry Corps. Just did. Michael, do you remember what was going through your head when George took you back? No, I don't. When George, that fight with GSP, and I apologize because I'm about to give you a bunch of fucking excuses here, but it's true. I busted up my ribs, but when I got a couple of rounds into the fight, that kind of got over that, the adrenaline, But then my fucking jock strap broke. And I know that sounds like the weirdest excuse ever. I have a metal cup, because it's very heavy, and the metal cups are good, especially you can grind them in people's faces. And when you're doing an arm bar, the metal cups really stick out. So if you've got an arm bar, it accentuates the arm bar. Trust me, if you do jiu-jitsu or MMA, or you're an amateur, get yourself a big old bulgy metal cup. But the problem with that big old bulgy metal cup was that it was in a fucking old jock strap, right? That was all frayed and tethered. And my wife was like, Michael, you got to get a new one. I was like, it's fine, whatever. And in the second or third round, it snapped, it broke. So down in my shorts, there's a metal cup bouncing around all over the place. Very, very distracting. Anyway, I didn't see George's left hook coming because it came on this side. And God bless him. Good shot. All's fair in love and war. I don't blame him for doing that. Of course, he said, Michael does not see how well as his side. So the plan was always to use the left hook. And I didn't see it coming. So my thoughts as he was taking my back, I don't have any thoughts. He cracked me good and proper. Fair play to him. Thank you, D. John Smith, love your channel and your commentary. We did that one. Let's go down the bottom of this chit chat. What we got? Does anybody give a damn about this? What's that about Frank Grillo? Hey, Michael, have you watched the show Kingdom? Pretty good MMA show starring Frank Grillo. I haven't seen the whole thing, but you're right. for MMA guys and girls, for any of you MMA guys and girls out there that are looking for a good show on Netflix, Kingdom is good. Kingdom is really, really good. Frank Grillo is in that, of course. He's the biggest star. And I thought, because I didn't watch it for years, because I thought, oh, God, come on. A Netflix interpretation about MMA is going to be fucking awful. So I didn't watch it until I had nothing left to watch. I said, all right, I'll give this a try. I'll have a laugh at it. Was I wrong? It's very, very good. Very good. So much so that when I saw Frank, I pulled him to one side and said, hey, Frank, good job, man. You nailed it. Nailed it. The whole tone and everything. I haven't seen the whole thing. There's many seasons, but I do want to go back to it and finish it off. Speaking of knee pains, I hate, see, why do people, see, it's because you're from Florida. That's why. Mike, any chance you'll make an appearance on SAW SawCon this year? What is SawCon? SawCon, like a Comic Con for the movie Saw? No, but I tell you what, where I will be, check this out, guys. If you're in the UK, April 2nd and 3rd, big announcement for you. Do you hear that? Do you hear that leaf blower? The fucking leaf blowers. I was just doing the audition a few minutes ago. Check this out. I was doing the audition a few minutes ago in my garage because I'm playing a coach, right? So in my garage, it's all nice and clean and it looks like a gym. So I thought I'd use that as a backdrop. And my daughter, she's studying acting now. She's been doing it for a while. She's an aspiring actress. It's great for her to have hopes and dreams. And I'm encouraging her into that. You know, as I say, it's a dream, but it's always good to have a dream. So she was helping me do the scene. I know you could hear Fridays is the gardener's day. But I said, do me a favor, Victor. I said, can you just like chill 20 minutes while we do this audition? He says, yeah, no problem. I'll do it for half an hour. I said, oh, thank you. You're the man. And then it just got louder and louder and louder. And I opened up the bloody thing. There's about 5 or 6 gardeners over there. Goddamn leaf blowers. Driving me crazy. Anyway, what was I talking about? I got sidetracked with the leaf blowers. Fucking leaf blowers. I have no idea what I was talking about. Knee pain. Yeah, that one. We did that one. Love your commentary. If you could change one thing with UFC, we did that one. There was a good question a minute ago. Oh, well, whatever. Who's this guy? Speaking of knee pains, yeah. Oi, Mr. Bisping, why is there no Scotland date for the next part of Tales from the Octagon? Sort it out, man. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Listen, I did one in Glasgow, and I will be coming back for Tales from the Octagon, my tour that I did. I'm going to Oslo, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, one other European city, Dublin, Belfast, Leeds, London, Cardiff, all over. 17 bloody dates back to back to back to back. And then the month later, I'm going to be in Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, the Gold Coast, and Auckland in New Zealand. So a very, very busy time. So myticket.co.uk, or just search Tales from the Octagon. However, here's what I was going to talk about a minute ago. Big announcement for you. I'm going to go through it on my phone. In April 2nd and 3rd. April 2nd and 3rd this year. So not long, about 6 weeks away. Manchester, the Bowlers Exhibition Centre. There's a huge MMA expo happening, which I am happy to say that, I'll be attending. But more importantly, listen to this lineup. So there'll be an MMA expo in Manchester, April 2nd and 3rd. Get tickets from fortheloveofmma.co.uk. There will be myself. There will be George St. Pierre, of course, Dan Seven, Randy Couture, Carlos Condit, Tom Aspinall, Tito Ortiz, Jermaine Durandame, Lerone Murphy, Mark Holman, Kevin Holland, Don Fry, and there's still many others yet to be announced. Myself, GSP, Carlos Condit, Tom Aspinall, Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz, legends, newcomers, current stars, Tom Aspinall. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on, lots of fun. We're going to have Q&As. We're hoping that Adam Catchell and Nick P from BT Sport are going to be there. So they're going to be conducting Q&As, maybe with myself and George. Lots of seminars and all stuff like that. For the love of MMA.co.uk, April 2nd and 3rd. Keep an eye out for that one, guys. Kell, Brook versus Amir Khan predictions. I don't know. I don't know, mate. Amir Khan's been around for a while now. Amir Khan's been around. Monopoly Events is great. Absolutely, you're right. It is Monopoly Events for the love of MMA. Your son is trying to qualify for English wrestling team for the Commonwealth Games. You're absolutely right. He is. Anyone notice Mike has a Sean Strickland action figure on his shelf? Ha! Here he is. Little Mikey B. Little Mikey Bisping. Little old school. That's exactly what I look like with my shirt off right now. But yeah, there he is, Sean Strickland. Well done, Ant. First thing I noticed, 20%. No, but I can't unsee it now. Well, I'll put it back for you. Go on, Mikey. Yeah, baby. There he goes. Hey, listen, don't give me shit. If you had your own fucking action figure, I guarantee you would have it in the background of your YouTube set. By the way, new set coming. We've got all the pieces. We've got all the wallpaper. We've got all the accoutrement, the ornaments, the lights. We've got everything. Just need the time to set it up. But over there, so from now on, when I do the live, sorry, my usual videos, I'll do it here. But the lives are going to be over there on a completely different set, differentiated, Greetings from Spain. Right back to you, Alvaro. Did you hear about the Sorgon event taking place June 9th? I hear GSP and Anderson are going to be showing up. Sorgon? No, I didn't. I don't know if you're trying to get me to say something weird there, but I don't think you are. Nothing wrong with Sorgon. Sorgon. Think about Darren Till and Hamzat training together. Does Bobby Brown have a good chance against Islam? Yeah, let's talk about this. As we know, next week was supposed to be Islam Makhachev taking on Beneil Dariush in an unofficial number one contender matchup. I say unofficial. Maybe it was official. I think that's the general consensus, though. The winner of that will fight the winner of Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje. I believe that's the next fight at lightweight for the title. Beneil is out of the fight. You've probably seen the news. He rolled his ankle. He'll be back soon. He just can't fight next week. Real shame. Big fan of Beneil Dariush, by the way. Love him. And put a poll up. Put a poll up. Who wins next week? Beneil Dariush or Bobby Green? Bobby King Green. I am so happy for Bobby Green. He's the guy that's stepping in for Beneil Dariush. It's a really tough fight. As we know, Islam is the protege from Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's the guy that's got all the hype. He's the guy that's on a tremendous win streak right now in the UFC. Last time out, defeated Dan Hooker. Made short work of him. To be fair, stylistically, though, that was a tough one for Dan Hooker. Bobby Green, he just fought last week, less than a week ago. He put in a hell of a performance against Nasrat Haqparast. Before that, Ali Quinta butchered him, really, to be honest. And I love Al. Al's fucking awesome. But I think Bobby is going to go in there and shock the world. And when I say shock the world, I don't mean necessarily beat him, but I think he's going to make it a really tough fight. I do, because he can wrestle. Bobby Green can wrestle. He can stop takedowns. He can box. I mean, we saw a masterclass in boxing. He's got the attitude. He'll be in shape. Yeah, it's short notice. He just fought. He ain't out of shape. We got the poll up. Stick your votes in there. Who wins? Bobby Green and Islam. Also, going to start doing some merchandise, guys. What do we think? Ant, in a minute, we'll do a poll. I'll just answer some of your questions. Since your rise, have you ever met many non-MMA celebrities? Any that were super cool? Any pricks? Love your work, brother. Joe and Rob. Well, thank you, Joe Hill. Yeah, I have. I've met many celebrities. I've met many celebrities. But I have. I'm not trying to sound Hollywood. Most of them have been pretty good. I've met a few weirdos. And of course, you want names. Do you know what? I got invited to, Ori Emanuel, who owns William Morris Endeavor, who owned the UFC, of course, so I'll choose my words very carefully because I want my job. He threw a Christmas party at his house, and my wife and I, Rebecca and I, we went to the Christmas party. When was this? 2018 or 19, I believe. Maybe 2018 Christmas party. And as I say, William Morris Endeavor is the #1 talent agency on the planet. most of the big name actors, actresses, musicians, etc., they'll either be with William Morris Endeavour or CAA. They're the biggest ones. There's plenty of other ones like Gersh. That's who I'm represented by. But CAA and WME, and I think WME pips them, is the biggest one on the planet. So we went to the Christmas party, and oh my God, I mean, I don't get excited about meeting celebrities. I did the first time I met one. I was like a little schoolboy. But, at this point, it's old hat. But when I went in, it was literally everywhere you looked. It was just A star, A class, whatever. I don't know, fucking proper celebs. We ain't talking fucking, you know what I mean? Who's a washed up celebrity? I don't know. But these were like current Oscar-winning movie stars. I was like, holy shit. Keanu Reeves was over there. There was fucking, you name it. They were all over the place. And I got told, I said, excuse me, what's he called? I forgot his name. What's he called? Mr. Vaughn would like to come and meet you. I said, who's Mr. Vaughn? They said, Vince Vaughn, the actor. He would like to meet you. I was like, oh, crap, shit. So to answer your question, who was a cool celebrity? Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn was so nice. And in fact, he was at the Apex recently. He's a big fan of the fights. And I was shocked. And like a knobhead. Do you know what the first thing I said to him was? Well, I didn't realize he was so tall. Because he's very tall. He's going to be 6'6". He's very, very tall. And the first words, and he must hear it, because every tall person just has the comments about being tall. And like a knobhead, I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. Whoa, didn't realize you were so tall. But anyway, so he was there, and there was a lot of very nice people. There was no jerks, but there was one guy that I had an interaction with that could be taken as being a jerk. But it's not. It was perfect. It's exactly what I wanted from him. I'm talking about Larry David. Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm was there. And I'm not a guy that's going to go up and ask for pictures and all the rest of it. And at an event like that, I would never ask for pictures either. You got to act like you've been there before. You've been invited. You can't be asking everyone for pictures. It's just not how you behave. And I would never ask anyone for pictures, as I said. But Larry David, as I walked by, I was like, oh, fuck, there's Larry David. And I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's one of the funniest shows out. I love it. And I love the way he portrays his character and everything. And I thought, I just want to say hi. You know what I mean? So he was in the middle of a conversation with somebody. So I waited until he was done. And then, I found my right time to interject. I said, excuse me. I said, I'm sorry to interrupt. I said, I just want to say, I really appreciate your work. It's great to meet you. And he just looked me up and down like I was a piece of dog shit. I was like, it's great. It was the most Larry David interaction ever. And that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, no, he's great. I'm a huge fan of that guy. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. All right, let's have a look here. From your perspective, which way do I go on the contact lens? From your perspective, what do you think is the biggest mistake aspiring MMA fighters could do in today's landscape? What is your advice for them? New MMA fighters want to rush it. Hold on. They rush. They turn professional way too soon. This isn't new advice, but this is advice that all young MMA fighters need to listen to. They want to turn pro. They want to be sexy. They want to tell everyone I'm a professional mixed martial artist. They want to start getting sponsors and work their way towards the UFC. You don't want to get to the UFC and be learning on the job. I did that. A lot of people did as well, but I was getting better and better. But I was a lifelong martial artist and a lifelong fighter. But you want to carve your teeth on the amateur scene as much as possible, because when you lose as an amateur, it doesn't matter. It doesn't stay on your record. Yeah, it's on your amateur record, but who gives a shit about that? It's your professional record. You want to avoid losses. Like when I turned pro, I went on a quick tear. Within 2 years, I was 10-0. I was undefeated. And that's a sexy record, and that's what people start taking notice of. And it's marketable, and you start making more money, because that's why we do this. A lot of fighters, they rush it too quick. They want to turn professional because it seems sexy, for want of a better word. Take your time, learn, keep being active on the amateur scene. Maybe rack up a few losses. You learn more from your losses. And I know that's a cliche, but I'd start with that one, my friend. Thank you for that, Sig Matherm Engineering. Mike, do you think the UFC will try to make Izzy versus Usman They're right now the number 1 and number 2 in the world. Should they try and make that fight? Do the rankings help sell it? Love from Michigan. Thank you very much. They don't want to do it. I want to see it. I think they should do it. Do I think the UFC will do it? They might suggest it at some point. I mean, Izzy's going to fight Jared Cannonier next. We know that, probably in June. Kamaru Usman's going to fight Leon Edwards next. We know that, probably sometime in June, July, something like that. International Fight Week, probably. So they've both got matchups. So it's too early to talk about them fighting one another right now. But if they both win both of those matchups, they're kind of running out of competition. They are. And when you run out of competition, you got to look at other weight classes. And I know they're brothers, and I know they're friends, and I know they're from the same goddamn country. But so what? Who cares? Americans compete against one another almost every single weekend in the UFC. You know, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Okay, there's a lot of talent from the United States. So that's why they have to fight each other, because predominantly it dominates the sport. But as I said, the original point, I would love to see Izzy versus Usman. I think they would both make a tremendous amount of money, you know, and no shame to lose him. Okay. All right, let's go down the chat down here at the bottom. Let's have a look. What's your favorite film? Oh, it just moved. I didn't get to finish it. But what is my favorite film? Favorite film. Hold on, let's have a look at the poll real quick. 67% of you've got Islam winning. Islam Makhachev beating Bobby Green. And I understand that, of course. He's the favorite for a reason. He's got a tremendous amount of hype. He's got good boxing, great wrestling, killer jiu-jitsu. Comes from a good team, great fight IQ. Could go on all day. But so's Bobby Green, man. So's Bobby Green. Ant, put this up in the poll, please. How does Islam win? Decision, knockout, submission. Mike Tyson, have you ever had to train anyone besides Dave Faulkner how to not gag on his mouthpiece? And did you really sleep through cornering the other UK fighter? You're a prick, Mike Tyson. Are you from Liverpool? Are you a mate of Dave Faulkner's? When I was on The Ultimate Fighter, season 9, Dave Faulkner was on the he was one of my guys on the team. Yeah. No one wants to talk about that. Sorry, Mike Tyson. It's a throwback. You know what I mean? And no one really wants to know. Green sent to the slaughterhouse. You think so? I don't think so. I do not think so. I think Bobby has a real good chance. I'm not saying he's going to win. Islam's amazing. Brother, you're a god, 100% respect. Also, I know I'm a bit late, but I'm watching this a little bit behind. Had the same exact thing happen to me with an audition and not being off book last week. Well, thank you, AJ Mendoza. Yeah, now I'm off book. Now I've got it. I've got this audition down. You know, I've got a few movies lined up this year. Very excited. Now, the thing is, I sit here and I'm sorry. I sound like a wanker. I know I do. But this is how it goes. You have all these projects and you speak to these people and you go to these meetings and they're, oh man, you're fucking awesome. You're perfect. But until you get a contract, it's all bullshit. So I have got good authority that I'm in Den of Thieves 2, which films in April. Excited for that one. That one's going to go ahead. And then there's a couple of other projects that I've just been told by the director. And then there's this one that I'm auditioning for, which I think I've got a good chance for, but we'll see. Do you think the female division needs a Mcgregor personality? Someone that trash talks like him? Well, if you saw the pay-per-view last week, Casey O'Neill, she's Scottish. She lives in Brisbane, Australia, or the Gold Coast. She's undefeated in the UFC, 4-0, 3 stoppages. Last time out, she went to a decision with Roxanne Modafferi last weekend. And I think she could be that person. You know, I don't think they need that. Remember, they used to have Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She was a shit talker, big time. Still a great fighter as well. But Casey O'Neill at flyweight, remember she told the whole crowd to go fuck themselves on the microphone afterwards? I mean, God bless her. God bless her. She can fight, though, as well. She fights. She's marketable. What do you think about the UFC? What things about the UFC did you hear about before joining that was different than you heard or subverted your expectations? What surprised you? Nico doesn't know. Things that surprised me from when I wasn't in the UFC to when I was. I don't know. I mean, how professional they are, for one. I didn't know that. The bonuses that you get, I didn't know that either. What else? What else? They're boring answers. Things that didn't. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Let's have a look at this poll. 74% of you think that Islam Makhachev takes out Bobby Green via submission. Hey, listen, that's a really good possibility. It is. It is. And maybe I'm a little bit too high on Bobby because he has such two great last performances, so maybe, but I've never really seen Bobby like struggle against wrestlers. Chael 130-27, Mike. Ooh, you got me there. Thanks. Put this poll up on. Put this up. How many people on here, and be honest, I want you guys and girls to be very, very honest. How many of you have ever gone to someone's social media page to talk shit and be insulted? Because I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? You can think it. Well, why do you have to say it for? Why do you have to go to someone's page, send a DM or whatever? Fuck you, shitbag, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I just don't get that. Realistic, he's got nothing better going on in your life. Hold on, let's have a look at it. Taylor Sawiki says, I love your book. In the book, you mentioned you received credible information on who the man in the black hood was that broke in. What was the credible information? Are you 100% sure nowadays? By the way, our friend Taylor here is referring to when a guy came to my house to try and kill me. If you haven't seen the video, I don't know what the video is called. The night somebody tried to kill me, I think, something like that. But it's a good story. A guy, I went out real quick. I'm not going to give the full version. I went out. It was a long day, a 3-day bender. I was tired. I went back to this little flat that I lived in behind this greengrocers. I went to bed. Well, no, I was lying on the couch. I was tired, and someone knocked on the door. I thought, did I hear that? I turned it down, turned the TV down, waiting, and then there was a knock. And then I'm like, what the fuck? So I waited a few more minutes, and then there was another knock. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. It's like midnight at night, and someone's knocking on the door very gently, but waiting a few minutes in between. If somebody wanted my attention, they would just, hey, come on, Bisping, answer the door, come on. But they weren't doing that. So I tiptoed to the back door, and I waited and waited and waited. And after a minute or two, sure enough, a very gentle little knock. So I said, hey, who is it? And they go, it's John. I'm like, John? John who? I said, John, as if like, it's John. So I thought, all right, it's John. So I opened the door, and as I opened the door, I got sprayed in the face with CS gas, mace you would call it in the States. I was like, I'm going to open my eyes. There was a guy stood there, black Ku Klux Klan hood on, black bomber jacket, black boots, black combat pants, and a canister of petrol or gasoline, depending on what country you're in, just swinging it all over the place. He tried to burn me fucking down. Someone tried to burn me down. Check out the story or the video the night someone tried to kill me for the full story of the in-depth spooky time. Yeah, there was 2 people that I thought it was. 2 people, and they're both dead. When people ask me this, and I always say, yeah, well, they're dead now. They're like, whoa. I'm like, no. It had nothing to do with me. It had absolutely nothing to do with it. Although it does sound like, it makes me sound gangster. Yeah, well, they're both dead. Like I had something to do with it. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Promise. No. What happened was, sadly, one of the guys that I thought it was very tragically hung himself in a police cell. God rest his soul. And then another person that I thought it was died in a car crash. So neither man is around to this day. Jake Showtime Paul is rinsing the UFC. Yet boxing is still in the dark ages. UFC put 100 million into 2 global fighters centers, and Matchroom has a 20K gym in Essex. When will Dana deal with Paul? When will Dana deal with Jake Paul? I don't know. Him going out there making these fucking diss tracks ain't helping his cause. And to be honest, Jake Paul couldn't compete in the UFC. He could not compete. Now, I'm not saying he couldn't make a transition and put some time in, He's shown a propensity for boxing. He showed some skill. He's clearly got knockout power, and he's clearly not afraid of training hard. So I'm not hating on the guy. I'm not hating on that. And put a poll up. Could Jake Paul have a good career in boxing? In mixed martial arts in the UFC? Could Jake Paul have a run in the UFC? But yeah, I just, he'd have to put a lot of time and effort in. He'd have to learn the wrestling, have to learn the jiu-jitsu. Then he'd have to learn to mix them all together. The arts of the mixed martial. You got to mix it up, baby. So I don't know if he could. I really don't know if he could. Bisping, have you been following the WMMA in PFL? I need Amanda Love in the UFC. I haven't, unfortunately. I haven't seen any of the PFL. No disrespect to them or the fighters involved. It's nothing like that. I just don't have time. I really just don't have time. If it's on, if I'm sat at home and it's on, I'll watch it 100%. A lot of the time, I don't know where I can find it. Just started this channel for MMA rankings. Only have 2 short videos so far. You think Till eventually meets Adesanya for a belt? I do. Well, maybe. If Adesanya is still the champ. I think Darren Till gives him a good fight. I do. I know I said that yesterday on the video about Darren, and a lot of people thought I was out of my mind. Look at Robert versus Darren Till. Robert Whittaker. Close fight. Very, very close fight. Darren's still getting better. He's still learning. He's still dealing with that big fight pressure. He's still working on his takedown defense, his wrestling ability, all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? He's only 28 years old. It took me to 37 to become champion. So he's still got almost another 10 years. And he wants it. He wants it bad. Darren Till wants it bad. Hey, Mike, do you have any social advice for Luke Rockhold? His interview with Submission Radio the other day was super weird. He's always awkward. I don't have any interview advice for him. No, I don't. But I can believe it. I can believe it. Luke is often a little, I like Luke. Stop getting me to talk shit. Oh, busting bice. Boom, bum. Breathing near them. Jesse on Fire had an interesting idea before Bobby Green took the Islam fight on short notice. Isn't Bobby Green perfect? A perfect fight for the returning Conor. Well, Conor needs an opponent, that's for sure, because Dustin Poirier makes sense. Nate Diaz makes sense. Outside of those guys, I don't know who it would be. Bobby Green would be nice. He would be nice. But I don't know. You got to play that card carefully. Conor is a good fighter. Conor is a great fighter. Let's be honest. Come on, he was a 2-weight division champion. Me and him don't have a relationship these days. We never had much of a relationship to start with anyway. We didn't. It's not like we were fucking best friends or anything like that. We just had the same manager, and because of that, we hung out a little bit. So it wasn't like, we were very good friends. Now we don't talk, other than him fucking trying to insult me for flying on a commercial airline. Ooh, he put a picture up of me getting on board a plane with other members of the public. The shame I felt for not flying on a private jet. Oh, I will never live it down, guys. I will never live it down. I'm like, fucking hell, Conor, that's the best you got. But all that aside, he's a great fighter. He is. He's a tremendous fighter. But he's had, he's struggled. He's struggled recently. Lost his last 2 to Dustin. Prior to that, he beat Cowboy. He lost to Khabib. These are all good people, though. There's no shame in these losses. It's not like he can't compete with good people. That's a false narrative. But he wants to win his next one back. And so he's going to play that carefully. I don't know who it's going to be. Quinn41 says, even in Mike Hoppall as well, I remember seeing a fight rewatch last year with Dan Hardy and GSP. It was pretty good. Will you eventually do one with Chael? Yeah, we did talk about that. Anthony Evans, who's manning the polls in the background, he's always telling me to do, we need to get you and George to sit down and go through your fights. Get you and Jorge to sit down, Jorge Rivera, sit down and go through your fights. I'm like, no, someone says, these are boring without Rebecca. Sorry, mate. Get your own wife. I don't know if people want to sit down and go through fights that I won, that they lost. Oh, hey, buddy, come on live with me and we'll talk about when I kicked your ass. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind talking about the ones that I lost. I don't mind that at all. I don't. Just want to say thanks for all you do, Mike. Can't be easy with the podcast 2 days a week commentating. You're awesome. And I'd hit every hater in the face if I could. Also, God bless Rebecca. Well, thank you, Ainsley. God bless Rebecca is correct. She's a sweetheart. Let's go down here to some of the chats, see what we got. You're the GOAT, Mike. Cheers, mate. Mike, what do you think about Mateusz Gamrot? Mateusz Gamrot. He's awesome. Mateusz Gamrot. What a great fighter he is. Great potential. Doing very well in the UFC so far. Do you think I should worry about long-term CTE? This is from Andrew Smart. About long-term CTE, I've done Muay Thai for years and sometimes I worry. I spar light controlled and don't spar all the time. I love the sport, would never want to stop. Well, Andrew, you're fine. You spar light all the time. So you say, if you're sparring light, you'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Fucking hell, mate. If you need to worry, I need to worry. I don't know. I find myself slurring my words a little bit, but I think maybe I always slur my words. So maybe. Hold on, let's have a look. Could Jake Paul compete in the UFC? 66% of you are absolutely on the money because you say no. And put this poll up. Do people think that I slur my words? I'd be interested to see what you say on that one, you bastards. Please go lightly. Champ, this is Sam's school. Have you ever danced La Candela? Again, this comes up all the time. I think it's something to do with Yo Romero. I love you, boy. I love you, mate. I see you soon, boy. Something to do with that, but I don't know what it is. The satisfied customer says, why didn't you throw more elbows, Mike? Did you have hidden elbow issues? When will you go back to Thailand to do some training? We want to see you in Thailand training hard again. Please don't get fat. Baby. Do I look fat? I'm not fat. I'm working hard. I'm too vain. If I'm quite honest. Let's have a look. No, I'm dying to come back to Thailand. So my son, Lucas, and this actually goes into the question that this guy asked a moment about doing Muay Thai and having CTE. For me, if you're going to get better at a martial art, you have to spar. Now, Max Holloway says that he doesn't spar now, but that's okay because Max Holloway is one of the greats of this sport. Max Holloway's had a tremendous career. He's one of the best featherweights we've ever seen. He was a long-time champion. And if he now chooses to not want to spar, that's okay because he's learned. He's one of the best. My son just recently started training with Gerson Shilpatrick in Long Beach. It's a bit of a nightmare to get to because it's over an hour's drive, but I want him to learn from someone real, from one of the best. And Gerson was a guy that I hired for a few of my fights to be my kickboxing Muay Thai instructor. He started off, he was one of the original members of the Shooter Box, the legendary Muay Thai gym down in Curitiba, Brazil. But him and Rafael Cordeiro had some kind of fallout. I don't know. So he does his own thing now. It's called Fight Solutions. And before I started taking Lucas there, I called around a few different places because it's a long drive there. It's a long drive and I'm busy. But my dad always put a lot of time in driving me to the best training possible. So my dad did it for me, so I'll do it for my son. But I did check to see if there was somewhere closer. And I rang around a few people and they don't do much sparring. And I called one guy that I used to work with down at Brook. I said, because he started his own Muay Thai gym now and it looks beautiful and he's got a kids program. I said, did he spar? He said, oh, yeah, every Saturday morning we have a sparring session, but it's very, very light. I'm like, no, fuck that. You need to spar every session. So I'm taking him down there to Fight Solutions in Long Beach. He absolutely loves it. He's just been he's only been going 2 weeks. They've moved him up to the advanced section. And yeah, he loves it. And he spars every single time. And as I say, he absolutely loves it. Does Michael slur his words? 65% of you say no, 33% of you say yes, and you can all kiss my ass. Evening, Mike. Saw you in the O2 in Manchester for Tales from the Octagon. Great show. Where does Aspinall go if he wins against Volkov? You rock. Well, thank you very much. Tales from the Octagon in Manchester. There was 3,500 people turned up for that, and I was shitting my pants. You know, I did one at the O2 in London, the Indigo at the O2, not the O2, not 20,000 people. There was about 2,500 people there, and I was terrified, but I had a good time. And then we did one in Birmingham, and it was a smaller crowd, but it was still packed. I was a little bit nervous. I was all right. And I thought, okay, I'm getting into the swing of this. This is great. And then I went to the Apollo in Manchester. Beautiful, huge venue. And we went in it before We went in there in the afternoon and did a sound check. And when I saw the size of it, I was like, oh my God. So I was freaking out, I was shitting my pants. But thank you for the kind words. Remember, Tales from the Octagon is coming back October and November this year. myticket.co.uk if you're in the UK. I'm not sure of the websites. myticket.com.au or some shit. I don't know. I should know this. I should. Hey, Mike, you have the best, brother, listen to me. You have the best Khabib impressions. Do you think he will come out of retirement? No, listen, brother. Khabib had great career. Now he has Eagle FC. He made plays to his mother. His father is no longer with us, and that was a big part of his training camp, you see. It's not a Khabib impression, though, is it? It just sounds nothing like him. It's just a wee bit of Russian, like this, brother. So you're going to say. Let's have a look. Look what we got. Michael Newland. Hey, Mike. I know you try to be a humble guy, but honestly speaking, do you think you deserve to be in the middleweight GOAT conversations? Well, where was the middleweight GOAT conversations? Because I didn't see it. And I know there was something recently when Izzy at the weighing show with DC and Laura Sanko and all the rest of it on the weekend when they had the Izzy fight. I wouldn't put myself in there, to be quite frank, and put that up. Who is the top? I don't know. No, fuck it. I don't know. A few people put me in there, and that's very kind. And I did see an article recently where I was mentioned in there. I would have the middleweight GOATs right now. Number one is Anderson Silva, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think a very, very close number. Well, not a close number two, but I think number two is probably Izzy. Who else we got then? We got guys like Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, myself. I wasn't a long-time champion, but I fought a who's who of mixed martial arts throughout my career, and I never touched a steroid in my goddamn motherfucking life. Can't say that about a lot of the other people. So I think I don't think I would put myself in like the top three, but I would think that I should get an honorable mention on that list. How's that? Without sounding like a wanker. Any tips on how to go pro or how long to wait? Well, that's up to you, mate. Love from Scotland. Absolutely, mate. Well, that's absolutely up to you, Right? I don't know how you feel. You can't base that on something I don't know. Only you know this. And your coaches. Terrible Scottish accent. Hold on, my fucking contact lens is going blurry as fuck. It all depends, mate. How you feeling? How you coping? How are you doing in your fights, your amateur matches? How are the pre-fight nerves? How are your actual fights going? How's your submissions? How's your wrestling? How's your cardio? How's your boxing? Your kickboxing? More importantly, how's the mind? Are you ready? Are you nervous on fight day? If you're nervous on fight day at a fucking amateur, do not turn pro. Well, nervous isn't right, but if your nerves and your mind takes over, the anxiety controls you and affects you in a negative way, do not turn professional yet because you need to get more experience. Hi, Mike. Big fight in British boxing this weekend. Khan versus Brook. Who you got, buddy? Also, what do I make of Darren Till training with Hamzat? Did a video on it yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go into depth on that there. So check that out. I think it's a great thing for Darren Till. I'm going to say Amir Khan. Don't count him out. Amir Khan. Let's have a look what we got right here. All right, let's go to Mike. Saw you in the O2. Yep. We did that one already. I apologize. We love you, Mike. Do you think Woodley got knocked out because he stepped in on 10 days' notice and underestimated Jim Paul? I had Jim knocking him the fuck out. I don't know why you calling him Jim. He's called Jake, but Ismail C. I don't know why I did a Yoel and Romero impression either. So we're even. I don't think Woodley got knocked out because he stepped in on 10 days' notice. I think he got knocked out because he's not very offensive. When you're being offensive, your other person has to be defensive. Of course, when you're being offensive, you can ensue in a brawl. But he left himself standing there a lot of the time. As DC would say, taking pictures. Can't do that. Jake Paul hit him fucking hard. Caught him with a shot. Simple as that. He got caught. His reflexes are slower. He's getting older. That's why. He's pushing 40. He's pushing 40 and shit slows down. When I say, I don't just mean your punches, all that slows down. Your reflexes get slower. Maybe a few years ago, he would have got out of the way of that shot, but not now because he's almost 40. There we go. There's the information in the poll up top there. There's a link if you want to buy tickets to any of my live shows, which are great. They are good, to be fair. And I'm very excited now because I've got a year almost until the next one. And I'm redoing a lot of the material. Going to be all new material. Obviously, I'm going to other countries as well. So like when I was in England, it was great, because I've always had so much support. So it was kind of like an homage to me fighting in England and thanking the crowd. And I put my gloves down on the stage at the end and thanked them all and all the rest of it. When I go to other countries, I'm going to have to change that because they don't give a fuck the same way as the Brits did. Do you know what I mean? Certainly in Australia, after the biased commentary against Robert Whittaker, fucking hell, I might get murdered down there. So I'm going to change things up. Basically, I'm going to talk about how great Robert Whittaker is for about 3 hours. Mike, will you tell my buddy Mick to get rid of his Paddy Pimblett hair? Definitely lose it right now. Big Paddy. You got to get rid of that haircut. If you've got a Paddy Pimblett haircut, lose it. It's not funny. That's Paddy's thing. It's questionable on him. One day he'll look back and regret it. Just like when I had a shaved head all those years, I didn't regret it. But now, I've got a decent head of hair. I like to rock it. Have a decent hairdo. Come on, man. Does Cannonier bring anything new to the Adesanya matchup we haven't seen? Yes. He does. Hold on. Because I'm going to tell you how you beat Israel Adesanya. You beat Israel Adesanya the same way that I beat Anderson Silva. Because essentially, in many ways, they are very similar fighters. I think Anderson's definitely by far 100% has way better jiu-jitsu. And on the ground, he's a real threat. Adesanya, not so much. But he plays a very good defensive game. But how do you beat Izzy? Same way I beat Adesanya. You got to go forward. You got to be man enough. You got to be brave enough. You got to be good enough. You got to have the reflexes. You got to have the speed. You got to have the striking skills, offensively and defensively, to go forward and beat him at his own game. Lots of fakes, lots of head movements, parrying the jabs, countering back every time. High pressure, high output. Put him on the back foot. Take away his range. Take away the reach advantage that he has, and you got to be able to stand there and go toe to toe with the motherfucker. And that's what Jared Cannonier can do. That's what Jared Cannonier does do. Jared Cannonier is a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's coming down from heavyweight to light heavy to middle. He hits hard. The power is transferred with him. He ain't going to waste too much time trying to take him down. Adesanya's hard to take down. Anderson Silva was hard to take down. Yeah. So I do think he brings something new to the table. Will he be successful? I don't know. It's unfair to Israel Adesanya to stand there right now and say that. But let's see how it all unfolds. I'm very excited for a fresh challenge for him. Mike, will you be my buddy? Get rid of the Paddy Pimblett haircut. I'm going to go down to some of the chat down here at the bottom. I want to know what you're all saying. Oh, God, there's more. Hey, Mike, if Triple C gets super fat, how many times out of 10 does he beat Izzy? Triple C, man. Triple C. Have you eaten the Chinese dish? Suck my cock. Come on, bro. Weak sauce. Bisping, I'm not saying Whittaker got robbed, but do you think dominant champions are judging bias, i.e. GSP versus Johnny Hendricks, John Jones versus Dominic Reyes? Well, they're two good examples that you bring up there. GSP and Johnny Hendricks. That was... I'll tell you a story about, well, not a story. I'll give you my take on that because GSP versus Johnny Hendricks, I was in the arena. And when I watched that the first time, I was like, GSP lost that fight. He lost that fight, simple as that. Because he had the biggest moments, Johnny Hendricks and all the rest of it. And as fans, when they see that, when they see a dominant champion and the other guy's landing shots, we're like, whoa, look at this. We're not used to seeing this. He's doing great. So therefore, it leaves a bigger impression in your mind. But at the time, I was working on UFC Tonight on Wednesday night. So I watched the fight on the Saturday night. We had the pre-production meeting on like the Monday or Tuesday. And they said, listen, we're going to break down the GSP Johnny Hendricks fight. So make sure you watch it again. So I watched the fight again. And when I watched it from my couch, but without the excitement of the original fight, I'm being so invested in it as a fight fan, I saw a different fight. I did. And I scored it for George St. Pierre, So there you go. I'm starving, man. I am fucking starving. I'm so hungry. UFC Hawaii is going to happen long before UFC Dublin. I hope so. And I hope I'm working it. My God, if they put it on UFC Hawaii, count me in. Put me there. I can't believe it. Hawaii is so beautiful. So Kendall Grove, who was on the Ultimate Fighter 3, he used to come to my house and stay here all the time, and he lives on Maui. And I just thought, whatever. So what? He lives on Maui. Good for him. And then I went there for my honeymoon. I was like, oh my God, it's literally paradise. Literally paradise. Mike, do you think by starting a podcast, doing live shows, and growing a slick back, are you worried you're turning into Brendan Sharp? Well, I would never turn into Brendan Sharp. I mean, I'm not Brendan Sharp. I'm Michael Bisping. I'm authentic. I'm the real deal. What are you going to eat? I know that's a good question. Every day, my breakfast and my lunch is the same thing. Chicken sausage, bacon, 2 eggs, sometimes some mushrooms, and then I have a low-carb wrap. Because I like a low-carb wrap. I like a wrap. I would like to have it on toast, but I'm trying to diet. But I need something. So, look at the fucking sausage and the bacon and the egg, and I'm starving. I am so hungry. And I know what that looks like before you will start. But I've been doing intermittent fasting. It's getting longer and longer. What time is it now? 1:10 in the afternoon. Yeah, I'm trying to do, till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then have a meal then. Or, 1 o'clock even, have a meal then, and then I have my dinner. So then it's only 2 meals. Apparently, and I do find this, this is true. This is what they say in the research and videos and the research that I've done about intermittent fasting and from my own experience. You are much more active. Your brain is firing on all cylinders. I'm sharper. I get more things done. I really do. And then you eat and everything just kind of calms down a little bit. You're not as productive throughout the day. And when I have a nap, if I've got nothing, I have some food, I might go take a little 20-minute power nap on the couch. Do you think you hurt Anderson Silva to the body? Never thought about that, CJ. C. Andrews. You're hungry. Eat some Mountain Dew wings. Don't get that one. Mr. Bisping, Gus versus Rothwell. Predictions, yeah. Love from Sweden. You one-eyed bastard. Well, that's not nice, is it? Fucking hell. Jesus. Come on, mate. Alexander Gustafson versus Big Ben Rothwell. Well, I'll tell you what, my Swedish brother, even though you're insulting me, I think that's a tough fight for Alexander Gustafson. I do. I think it's a really tough fight. Big Ben, he's a big guy, and he's very good. He's got good submissions, and he hits hard, and he's getting better. I know he lost his last one out. Gustafson has been struggling a little bit as well at heavyweight. But Gustafson, when Gustafson's on, when he is on full form, like that Glover to Scherer fight, he is one of the best fighters on the goddamn planet. And I mean that. Can he get back to that form, though? If he can get back to that early, from maybe 5 years ago, if he can get back to that kind of form, I think Alexander Gustafson could be a heavyweight champion, but can he get to that form? That's a real question. Sam School says, Champ, when you were busting up GSP's face from the bottom, the commentators were really impressed by your attacks at the time. How did you feel you were doing? Yeah, listen, when you get taken down, and in the George St. Pierre fight, we knew George was going to take me down, elbows off your back. These little tiny elbows, they don't take much to break the skin in the face. You know what I mean? They slice people up very, very easy. So when someone's taking you down, they want to put heavy pressure on you. So they get on top of you and they put their chest about here, and you've just got the top of the head, right? So you push on the head a little bit and then you slide it off. You push, slide. And guess what? You start slicing them up. You start hurting them. And then what they're going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to back away. They're going to back away because the only way they can not get elbowed is by backing away. And as soon as they give that separation, when the chest separates from the chest, now I have the ability to get back to my feet, because you haven't got the same heavy downward pressure. I can start pushing on the head. I can start shrimping. I can start moving to the fence. I thought I was doing great there, to be honest. I busted him up pretty good. I'm so annoyed at that fight. I know I could beat him, but, God bless. How do you see Mousasi match up against Izzy or Rob? Yeah. Well, Mousasi's good, man. Mousasi's definitely the best middleweight that's not in the UFC, I would say. Is he the Bellator champ? I think he is. Mousasi, tremendous talent, very well-rounded, great boxing, great wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you name it. Against Izzy and Rob, he'd be a problem. He'd be a problem. What do you order at Tempo Brayer? Well, I've never been, Jessica Collindres. I've never been to the Tempo in Brayer, but fortunately, there's a Tempo literally down the street. It's about less than a mile from my house, and it's awesome. Tempo restaurant, Anaheim Hills, love it. I go there all the time. I get the surf and turf tacos. The surf and turf tacos. I get the shishito peppers. I get the pow pow wings, all low carb, keto. But I do like an Una Lady, which is a rather fruity drink. But I'll tell you this, Tempo, if you watch it, the drinks are expensive, but it's fine because they're delicious. Sometimes the Una Ladies taste great. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. Sometimes the Una Ladies taste like shit, and then there's no flavor there. Send that back to your boss. Okay. Do you think the UFC added a belt and weight division, it would diminish the value of the belts and hold up the other division? I don't. Listen. I do believe at some point, who knows? Maybe it's soon, maybe it's 10 years away. I do believe they will add a 65-pound and a 95-pound. I think they should. They're big jumps. Like when I was 205 at the start of my career, to jump down to 185, that's a 20-pound weight drop. That's a stone and a half. It's a lot of weight to drop. It's not like in boxing, you go up a weight class, you go up 2 or 3 pounds or down 2 or 3 pounds. You know, you got a good sweat, you're 2 or 3 pounds lighter. You know, but 20 pounds is something very, very different. And I do think, even though I managed to win the belt at middleweight, those heavyweight cuts were detrimental to my performance, to my career, to my body, to my well-being, to my endurance, and possibly to my brain. You never know. I mean, I've never been the smartest or sharpest guy out there. So, hey, Mike, our new home's contract fell through today due to the useless estate agents. Is there any chance you could head kick them? Big fans from the UK. Well, Shaney, that's annoying, isn't it? I am very, very sorry. Was it a beautiful house? Were you all set for it? Oh, God, I can only imagine the disappointment. It fell through, did it? Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. I will not head kick them, no. I don't know if you know, but that's classed as assault. And I would go to prison because I have a criminal record, if I'm being quite frank. I love you. I love you too. I love you. Mike Perry versus Julian Lane. It's got to be Mike Perry. Come on. It's got to be Mike Perry. Do I think Paddy the Baddy will be champion in the future? Much more from fucking Liverpool. All right, Brad. I don't know about Paddy, mate. Maybe it's fucking too early to tell, you know. He's got a good shot. He's got all the ingredients. He's hungry. He likes the fame. He likes the attention. The reason I bring that up is because if you like that, you want more of that. You don't just want this to be a small little flash in the pan, a small little moment in time. And look at Conor McGregor, one of the biggest egos on the planet. You could say that I had a big ego, you know, and that is essential to being a professional fighter. It's one of the ingredients that unfortunately is required. You got to believe that you're the best. You got to believe that you're the man. You got to believe that you could beat anybody on the planet. Paddy has that attitude, and he's not afraid of a bit of hard work. So we'll see what happens. Just showed my daughters your nearly murdered video, and they're in hysterics. Please say hi to Eden and Bew. Is it Bew? Bew? B-E-A-U, Bew. Well, Steve Lewis. Hi, Eden and Bew. Why did you laugh at that? I was nearly murdered. Why would you laugh, Eden and Bew? My word, the kids of today. What heavyweight do you think could consistently beat John Jones? Oof. Tough question, that one. What heavyweight? What? I don't know. I don't know. Consistently beat John Jones. Do you know how hard it is to consistently beat John Jones? A man that has never been beaten. He's never been beat. So you want me to pick someone that can consistently beat someone that's never been beat? I don't know. Every kick is a leg kick. Grandmaster Jesse of mixed martial arts. All right. Sweet. Let's go down there to the chat. I'm going to wrap it up shortly, guys. It's been a good one. What do you think about Philly Shell against striking in MMA? The Philly Shell. I know it's a good against takedowns. I don't know the Philly Shell. I'm not from Philly. I'm not sure. What is this shell you speak of? King Castro Boxing. Big up yourself, bruv. Impossible. Bisping, have you ever tried cream of some young guy? It's one of my favorite dishes. Have you ever seen Astrid Vet's new video? I haven't. Mike, have you bought any of those UFC NFTs? And what do you think about them? I did. UFC Strike. I bought a few packs. I got Paddy the Baddy, actually. I got a few other cool ones. I did. It's just like sports cards, isn't it? Baseball cards, whatever, Oh, here she is. Here's Rebecca Bisping for you. Rebecca, you've been requested many times on this live. Yes. People are saying the live is boring without you. Grab a chair, though. Don't sit on my knee. Grab a chair. Well, there you go. All you people saying I'm boring. My wife's jumping on in a second. Thoughts on Chandler versus Ferguson? Personally, I think the UFC is doing Tony a disservice. Is that fight actually happening? I'm not sure. And put up a poll. Who wins, Chandler or Ferguson? I think, to be honest, a lot of people are underestimating Ferguson. Ferguson, yeah, he had a fall from grace, but when you look at a lot of those losses, it's aged very well. Sit down, darling. Look, she's dressed like a Nazi.
Oh my God, that's rude.
You are, though. You've got brown pants on. She's got big black boots, and you've got a bloody. It's not a roll neck, is it? So, say hi to everybody.
Hi. I don't look like a Nazi. That's rude. That's offensive.
What does Conor have to do to become a top lightweight again? And why is it firing John Kavanagh? And what gym can he go that doesn't hate his guts? I don't know. Is he firing John Kavanagh? I had no idea. Don't really keep up to it. We'll be able to get a black belt or knees. We'll be able to get you black belt or knees. Say no. Oh, yeah, my knees are an issue. I actually got offered. Somebody made me an offer about doing an exhibition grappling match, high level one. And I said, yeah, send me an offer. And I might consider doing it. But it all depends on my knees because it'll give me something to train for. Lucas and Rebecca have just come back from the stables.
We have. Lucas had a horse riding lesson. It's his third ever lesson. He's doing really, really good. We've got him some little boots and he's got his own helmet.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Big Patty Baddy. Sean, wake up. Stop being a bum. Get to the local MMA gym with your friend. All right?
It says here, Rebecca, please say happy birthday to Sierra in Canada.
Where's that? Oh.
Happy birthday to Sierra in Canada.
Oh, happy birthday,
Have a great
Sierra.
day.
Give me a big call, shout out. Let's go down the bottom, see what we got. Do you love Rebecca? I guess. Bless you, Becca.
Okay. Bless me. Thank you.
There's some guy on here called the Unsuccessful Genius. I shouldn't even mention him. And he comes on and he says the most nasty things in the comments about Rebecca all the time. But he calls her Becca.
That's the most offensive thing ever. I don't care. I don't care what he says about me. Don't call me Becca.
like he knows you.
He's always like insinuating that like I'm having an affair with someone at the stables and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. When are you getting a chain like Adesanya of UK owing Luke? Yeah, you can. Lucas is asking if you can have a little mini Coke Zero. Don't tell your mom. Have you been to Hull? I haven't been to Hull. I haven't. Becky. Do you eat the kitty? Sorry if it's tear. Oh, stop it. Queen, the lovely Rebecca. You're exactly right. Mike, can we get Rebecca OnlyFans? Come on, stop it.
No.
You're all being offensive now, guys. We don't like that. We don't to be offensive. Such a classy kid. He is a classy kid. Bisping, you're the man. Do you think Gagey will sleep Charles Oliveira? I don't know about that. Will Gagey sleep Charles Oliveira?
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, you heard it there from the Baxter.
That was awful.
I know. Bex, you don't like that either.
My name is Rebecca.
Look now. Well, why? Let's see it for a minute.
Because you need to change something in the settings. Everyone says it's like the white balance or something.
We look like Simpsons characters.
I know, I look awful.
Rebecca's
Should I turn this light out?
No, it doesn't make a difference. Trust me. We'll just look awful.
Okay.
Rebecca's Instagram page is on point.
Thank you. I need to post more. I have not been posting lately.
Give her a follow at, what is it?
At Rebecca Bisping.
At Rebecca
That's my name.
That is your name. Do you think Bex or do you drink Bex?
I do drink. The only alcohol. Do you mean alcohol?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, the only alcoholic beverage that I do actually drink is red wine. I'm obsessed with red wine and I don't like to drink anything else. Sometimes Michael's like, get a cocktail. He wants me to drink like some kind of girly cosmopolitan or something like that.
I'll be a real woman.
Okay, I am a real woman. I just don't like cocktails, but I drink red wine.
No. But when was the last time you were drunk? You can't remember it, right? No. I mean, you don't get drunk.
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no. I'm not.
I'm just saying because you're like, oh, I love to drink red wine. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't drink a lot of it. I just like the taste and I have a couple of glasses and then I'm good.
A glass at most. Will York Oxmall make it to the fly? York Oxmall. Well, York Oxmall.
That was a good one.
That's a clever one. Do you think Darren's fat? No, I don't think Darren's fat. Rebecca, have you seen Mike high on the ganja? Right about now. Hey, Mike, please say respect Big Tony. Respect Big Tony. Mike just doesn't want to look bad with his girly drink. Exactly. That's it. I'm like, if I'm going to sit here with a drink with umbrellas and cocktails and sparklers in it, you know what I mean? I'm like,
be comfortable in your own sexuality.
No, I'm very comfortable. I'm very
and that
comfortable.
does not stop you.
You saw me in my underpants this morning hitting that bag.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Why? Explain.
It was just comical because I don't know, you were all sweaty, wearing these little tiny pair of black underpants with shoes. And what were you doing? Kicking the bag? No, you were doing weights. It was just looked like a little.
Well, no, because I was hitting the bag. And as we know, if you've worked a bag and thrown kicks at the bags, you get it restricts your legs. So I whipped my shorts off because I'm in my garage. So I was just in my undies and they were tight. I think I've put a few pounds on. They never used to be that tight. And she said, "Oh, Michael, you look very fruity."
Like, I said fruity, yes.
You did. Rebecca, I hope you had a good day at the stables. Try something called a lion's tail. It's my favorite cocktail. Mike, your take down the fence was great. Well, cheers. Okay, Rebecca, can you kiss Michael on the forehead and tell him that he's a smart and brilliant man? It would make Michael Rojoko happy.
I can do that. Give me a...
Oh, God.
You are smart and you are brilliant.
Thanks, Mom.
You're not meant to laugh.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you.
Why are you saying Mum?
I don't know. It's like something your mum would say, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Did your mum call you smart and brilliant?
Never once.
No.
Never once. My mum could never, ever give me an insult. So a compliment without then turning it into an insult. Do you know what I mean? She's oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a bad wee bugger though.
He's got a bad temper.
Oh, God's sake. Oh, it's so thoughtful. He'll always help out.
He's got a kind heart.
He's got a kind heart, so he does. But fuck me. He's a little shit.
Bad wee bugger.
You know, proper old Mando move, that Bisping. Good evening, Bisping. Michael, love the commentary, bro. Go Truckers. All right, we're going to get out of here in just a second, guys. I've been going for almost an hour and a half. Long one today. Chandler should fight Islam Makhachev, maybe. Rebecca, what is the best food that Mike makes? What's the best dish that I make?
Okay, he's given up on cooking.
Oh, you're a liar.
What was the last thing he made? And how long ago was it? See, he doesn't even know. What was the last thing you made?
The last thing I made.
And grilling does not.
No, exactly. I barbecue the shit out of things.
Darling, we haven't barbecued for
since the summer.
Year.
No.
And that doesn't count.
Steaks. I do a good steak.
That doesn't really count. That's not cooking.
Thai green curry.
Oh, God.
I do a good Thai green curry.
No, he does it. It's awful. Can I say one time, remember when you went to make the Thai green curry and you know when you put chicken into the dish and when it's in the pack, it comes with like that layer of spongy stuff. I went to stir it and the layer of spongy stuff was in the dish.
Yeah, just keeping it nice and spongy. You know what I mean? Is your podcast event in London going to be at the O2 or in some other location? Can't wait for it. Yeah, by the way, I'm busy with shows and stuff. We got this, remember, for the love of MMA.co.uk, check that out. April 2nd and 3rd in Manchester. Myself, George St. Pierre, Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz. Oh my God, many, 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 many others. So check that out. Of course, myticket.co.uk for Tales from the Octagon in October and November. But before the show in March, myself with Block Acid and Fight Disciples with Adam Cattrall and Nick Pete, we're doing a live show, like a pre-fight party, Gonna at the Troxy, I believe, in East London. We're gonna have 2,000 people there, hopefully, and we're gonna have a bunch of guests. We're gonna have we've got a lot of surprises for you. We've got a bunch of guests who are doing a live podcast. Gonna be a lot of fun. Tickets going on sale very soon, so keep an eye out for that one. As long as they manage to get a roof back on top of the O2 Arena, it's blowing off there because the weather's bad.
Oh yeah, there's a major storm. Oh
Yeah,
dear.
yeah.
Someone said, "Who wears the boots in the relationship, and why is it Rebecca?"
Who wears the boots,
Who
babe?
wears the pants?
Who wears the pants? You dress like a bloody Nazi all the time. But who wears the pants?
I'd say we're pretty equal, but you kind of do.
Hey, Mike and Rebecca, what do you miss most about the UK, not counting family and friends?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not the weather. It's not the weather. One of the main things that we miss, or that I miss, is, well, first of all, the sense of humor. Secondly, the architecture, the buildings. Thirdly, the pubs, the pub food, the countryside, the nature. On a sunny day, it's the most beautiful place in the world. But there's not many sunny days. Does Mike barbecuing count as cooking for Rebecca? Yes.
Oh,
It
that's
is food the man
most of the
prepares.
guys.
82% of you
This
say
is
that it
'cause
matters.
They're all men that are watching this.
Oh, we have a very, very diverse bloody.
12%. I'm just going to agree with Rebecca. You didn't read that one.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're clearly got no scruples or balls. No, what are you talking about? This is a very multiple genders. We've got every type of gender in here, not just males and females. We've got all kinds of stuff.
Really?
Oh.
And put up a poll. How many men and how many women?
Well, how are they going to answer that?
Say, are you a man or are you a woman?
Hashim
Would you rather not to
Asfal.
say? You can't.
They can't do that. They don't know. Rebecca, who's a training partner known that Mike used to hang around with that you can't stand? Ooh.
Oh.
Be careful on your life to the world.
I know. I don't know because you didn't really kind of I didn't go to practice with you or anything, so I wasn't really around that whole world. But everyone you ever trained with was really nice.
Yes. Well answered. Ethan says, how did I get Anthony Smith to do the BYM podcast? How did I convince him? He seems like a busy guy. Well, he is, but I brought Anthony on as a guest co-host a couple of times, and I just thought he was great. He got a great response. Everybody really, really enjoyed him being on the show. So I asked him if he would commit to doing it once a week. I knew he probably wouldn't be able to do Anthony Smith 2 a week because he's still fighting, still an active fighter, he's still chasing the belt, which I think he's got a very good chance of getting. So I asked him if he could do 1 a week, and he said, "Yeah, I can make that happen." And obviously, it's a paid position as well, so that helps. And with Anthony on board, we're going to grow that thing 5 times the size of what it is now. Everyone's really loving BYM 2.0. It's a little bit better these days. What was that about Megan? Someone said something about Megan.
Megan who?
Well, Megan, Megan that lived with us, I think.
Oh.
What's your biggest payday from a single fight from your MMA career? You don't ask people about money. Biggest payday, though, by far, was the George St. Pierre fight. That was a big one. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. We'll end on this because everyone says that I'm a shill for the UFC. I'm not a fucking shill for the UFC, but I'm grateful for the company and the opportunities that have been presented my way. I fought my heart and soul out, but I was also rewarded very well. And I have a great life, we live in a beautiful house. I got paid handsomely. Every single fight that I had, when I went on the Ultimate Fighter, afterwards I got my contract. I knew going into the Ultimate Fighter what my contract would be. And after every single fight, Dana always passed me an envelope. And there was always, there was a lot of money in those envelopes, and I'm fucking grateful for it. Are you intoxicated?
Someone said, would you ever get Botox?
Would I ever get Botox? Rebecca, listen to this.
He
Stop.
needs Botox. And I'll tell you why.
She keeps going on about fucking Botox to me.
Why though?
Yeah, explain it.
Do I have an issue with your wrinkles?
The
Even
floor
though
is
you
yours.
do have a huge stick man in your head.
Look at the stick man. He's got horns. He's got horns. There's his legs.
He's turning evil.
There's his arms. I've got a devil on my
forehead.
Yeah, you see it? I've got a devil on my forehead.
See, you shouldn't be able to do that. I can't do that. But you do need Botox because he suffers from a lot of headaches.
A lot of headaches.
And apparently that is good for headaches because obviously you can't use those muscles And a lot of it's just from tension around this whole area. I mean, as you can see, he has very large, like protruding, I guess, bones, but there's also a lot of muscle there that if you disabled those muscles, like you couldn't use those muscles, you wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so then eventually you just smooth out. Nice.
I'm not.
Oh, that would be nice. Look at that.
No, it wouldn't be nice.
The stick man's still there.
It look like a bloody weird.
Do I look like a weirdo?
Does Rebecca look like a weirdo?
Do a poll.
Do a poll, and does Rebecca look like? Oh, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, listen, 74% of people say.
Imagine you're a female. Is barbecue cooking still? Yeah. All
good,
right, I'm wrong.
Good job. Yeah, it's cooking. I do a good barbecue. I'm starving.
Hey, the G-man's coming. You've got competition.
Well, Rebecca, what was that? Can my dog idly get a shout out? Mike won't tell him he's a good boy. Tell him his dog is a
Sorry,
good...
where are you reading this?
I don't know. Just say your dog's a good boy.
Your dog is a very good boy.
Do you think Hamzat can beat Izzy and Usman? Maybe. What if Michael Bisping got the decision against Chelsea and fought Anderson in 2012? You know, I'm not a believer of everything happens for a reason. However, I probably wasn't ready to beat Anderson in 2012. So there's that. You know what I mean?
Were you meant to fight him in 2012?
Well, if I'd have beaten Chael Sonnen, which I did do, I just got robbed on the judges' scorecards, I probably would have fought Anderson Silva next. I'd have done a damn sight better than what Chael Sonnen did, though, because, you know, in that rematch, he thought he was on Dancing with the Stars, didn't he? Tried to do a spinning back fist and fell on his ass and got finished after having a good opening round. Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely technically and mentally more improved in 2016 when I fought him. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. Probably not. Let's be honest. All right, guys, we've been going for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It is a Friday. I have things to do. There is fights on tomorrow. Tune in, check it out. I'm going to be uploading some videos over the weekend. So, thank you all for the support on the channel. I only started this thing. Analyze Khan, Brooke. I will do. I'll take a look at that, Hashim. I appreciate all the support on the channel. 333,000 subscribers. Only been going a few months. It's amazing. We're starting the PSS soon. Anthony Evans, who's doing the polls, he's going to be helping out with that stuff. So we're going to be doing merch designs. What kind of merch? And put this poll up. What do you want for the first design? Oh, I don't know.
For what?
Just for merch.
Left Hook Larry.
Left Hook Larry.
So sick of that.
Would you buy a Left Hook Larry t-shirt and put that up?
No.
Left Hook. What else? Left Hook Larry. She fucking hates Left Hook Larry.
It's stupid. It makes.
Loved your book, Michael. Why haven't you gone on the Food Truck Diaries with Brendan Shaw? He's asked me to, and I'd like to. Yeah, he asked me. He's asked me a few times. I'm just so busy. You don't understand. How mental is it?
I never even. You're always at home, yet I never see you during the day.
It's very depressing. I'm always at home.
He is always at home.
Pandemic. The old pandemic.
I love to be home. You should love it.
I do.
Don't.
Sometimes. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We're going to leave. We're going to do it. I'm starving. Rebecca, get that pan. Would you buy a Left Hook Larry shirt? Yes, no, I'd buy two. Well, we'll just wait for the results on that one.
Or ask what they want. Like, what does everyone want?
51% say yes. 40% say I'd buy two. Left Hook Larry for the motherfucking win. We're going, babe. We're going straight to the fucking t-shirt design manufacturers.
If you do a Left Hook Larry, I'm never coming on here ever again.
We'll do a bye-bye Rebecca. Bye-bye Rebecca shirt. There you go. Bye-bye Rebecca. Plastic makes headaches go away. Plastic. Thank you, mate. Night, buddy. All right, guys. People in the UK, much love. America, enjoy the rest of your day. Elsewhere in the world, hope you're all well. Hope you have a great weekend. Come back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. Lots of content coming your way. Much love, peace, love, unity. What else, Beck?
Don't talk like that. That's not how you feel.
We just
say, okay, guys, bye.
Okay, guys, bye. See, that's entertainment, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Gotta go. Peace.